Hello and welcome to Moments of Hope. I want to talk to you about two things today. One that is rather trivial, the other that is really important. Those of you who know me know that I am a huge soccer fan. For some strange reason, I love seeing people do things with this ball. And it's always been this way for a long time since I was a small child. I've done all that I could to want to be close to the game. Because of my competitive nature, I've wanted to be as close to the action as I could. But it didn't take me long before I realized that I wasn't very good at playing this game. And so I had to think of some other ways to stay close to the game. Probably the closest I got most of the time was from the stands watching. But I always held this ambition to get as close to the field and as close to the action as I could. And so I was thrilled about 5 years ago when I was in my late 30s, so many years into watching this sport of soccer, that I had the opportunity to be what is called a ball boy. A ball boy is someone who stands on the edge of the field. There are normally 4 or 5 of them, and when the ball goes out of bounds, they get the ball and they give it back to the players. Sometimes they'll kick it, sometimes they'll throw it. But their job is to get the ball back to the player so that the game can continue as quickly as possible. So this one day I went and I was with one of Orlando City's fledgling U23 professional teams. And it was the kind of environment where everybody pitched in because there was so much to do and not a lot of people involved. And so I took on some serving roles, and then just as we're about to start, they said, "Oh, we need some ball boys. Anyone interested?" It's normally a job for kids, 11, 12-year-olds, but my hand shot up because this was an opportunity for me to get close to the action. They picked me, and I was in, and I'm excited. I'm going to fulfill this dream that I've had for 30 years about being real close to the real action. Just before we're about to start, I went up to one of the administrators and said, "Hey, is there anything I need to know about being a ball boy?" And he said, "No, it's really pretty simple." Then he gave me this little wink and said, "Look, I tell you what, if we're winning, give the ball back real slow. But if they're winning, give it back real fast." And I'm like, hang on a second, that doesn't sound right. And he gave me another wink to let me know that he was just joking. And so I went and sat behind and beside the field, and the ball came in and out, and I would return it. Once I got it, I would throw it back out, and it would come back to me again, and I would throw it back out and keep things moving backwards and forwards, doing my job. As the game continued, the scoreline and the game got a little intense. And I remembered the temptation that came to me from this administrator who said, "Hey, if we're winning, go slow. If they're winning, go fast." And I kind of, in the moment, had this decision to make. And it was a decision whether to give in to temptation or not, or whether to keep my integrity or not. Because if I was slow, it could give an advantage, a competitive advantage, to one team over another. In that moment, I felt the pressure. Does my integrity stay intact, or do I compromise it to win? The ball came out. For a split second, I thought about it and then just returned it because I didn't want to compromise my integrity. You know, this is a silly example, but in a very small way, if I'd have given in to that temptation, I was challenging the integrity of the game. You know, in the game of life, temptation works the same way. Very rarely is it the big opportunities, the big things that will get us in trouble. It's all about the small challenges to our integrity. The small temptations that will just make a little difference. Because here's how temptation works. Lots of little integrity fails. Succumbing to lots of little temptation falls creates big integrity implosions. No one gets up in the mornings and say, hey, I'm really going to mess up. No one goes to work and says, hey, I'm going to blow my integrity today. It doesn't work like that. It's lots of small decisions in the wrong direction that lead to wrong outcomes. The reverse is true. Lots of little right decisions can lead to great outcomes. But the point I want to remind you of is that your integrity matters. It is the little decisions that determine the big outcomes in our life. When I was playing with the ball, it's just a silly game. But our integrity really matters. And it's in small decisions that big actions rise or fall. Friend, today, make the right decision. Choose to stand against temptation. Choose to stand for integrity. Because that's what the King of our kingdom invites us to. Protect your integrity today. It's one of the most important things about you. Take care. God bless. Have a great day and live in hope.